Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. Looking for my dog. I'm back, and I have an interesting video for you today. I have a knife that I want to talk about. I noticed on Amazon that almost every model of ESEE knife that was out there had really high reviews, like 4.5, 5-star reviews. And I thought, man, there's definitely something going on with these knives. I need to look into that. So I found the ESEE 6 and I bought one, and they had a lot of colors that they offered in this knife, and I chose, I think they call it Coyote. I live in the Southwest. They had real nice black blades with like a silver colored micarta handles, and just beautifully made knives. And I picked up this one. Well, randallsadventure.com or eseeknives.com. One thing that I noticed that I really liked about their packaging was on the back of the package. There's a lot of very simple survival stuff. Right here it's talking about pace counts, and pace counts on flat terrain, pace counts on steep, rough terrain, terrain with some slope. They talk about declination, how to travel to an azimuth, using GPS and topo maps. There's just a lot of stuff, different conversion yards rather. Like 100 meters is 109 yards. 100 yards is 91.4 meters. Things of that nature. 1 meter is 3.28 feet. So things like that. And then it talks about ground to air distress signals, short-term survival tips, fire building. All this is on the package of this knife, this ESEE knife. So feel free to pause at any moment if you want to take a look at that stuff. I just thought that the information that was provided on the packaging was really cool, and it's something that you don't see knife manufacturers do. I was really impressed by that, and more specifically I was impressed by that. Made in America, these knives. So when I opened the package, there's the knife obviously, but they have a few other things. There's an ESEE sticker, comes with the knife. That's beautiful, look at that. So cool. That's probably gonna go on my vehicle. And then there's also this card. Our carbon steel knives are made from high carbon 1095, which is what I wanted. And while 1095 is the top choice for professional cutlery, it will rust and stain if not properly cared for. So they're basically giving you a disclaimer about 1095 steel, which I knew that. You know, you've got to keep them oiled up, but they really is. 1095 is an excellent steel. So then here is this sticker. I thought that was pretty cool. And then also there's like a little business card, and on the back of this business card there's also some more survival information. So again, feel free to pause if you want to read that card. I just thought that this was really, really cool. So here, it's completely sealed in a bag. So we open this up, and again, there's a screw down in the bottom down here, so I got to be careful not to lose it. Warning, this product can expose you to chemicals including sulfur, nickel, chromium, vanadium, and lead, which are known in the state of California to cause cancer. Okay, so that's good that they put that disclaimer there. Again, there's another business card that was included in the package. Okay, pretty neat. And this is the parts, I believe, that goes to the knife. It doesn't come because they don't know what side you want to put it on. It's got the belt buckle there, right there, and it's got all the screws and hardware. I don't have a screwdriver with me currently, so I'll have to do that later when I get home. And if you were in that same situation as me and you have a brand new ESEE knife like this, well, I'm sure you could probably put some paracord through these rings and just hang it on your hip. But this is not Kydex. This is like a really hard plastic material. This sheath, it's got some paracord on it, but it's pretty cool looking. So you just run some paracord through there. There's a little thumb ramp right here to pull the blade out. So take a look at that. Man, that is a beautiful knife. The ESEE6. That is nice. It's got a nice sharp spine, jimping on the top there. I love that color. That is a really nice full tang knife, micarta handles. And it's that, I think it's a canvas micarta. It's got a lot of texture to it. It also has a finger choil right here so you can choke up and do fine carving tasks. I'm not a big fan of jimping on the spine of the knife here. Personally, I like the jimping back in this area where my thumb's going to be, not too far forward. But the jimping isn't real aggressive, but it's not real subtle either. It's kind of like a medium. But I would prefer to strike my ferro rod right there. You know, so that nice sharp spine. But I guess I can move up to here, strike it right here, or use this round area and strike it right here. This is just a beautiful knife. It's got 3 set screws in it. There's a lanyard hole here. Well, that's just the fit and finish of this thing is just beautiful. It's a nice knife. I really like this. And I love the color. I'm really digging the color. Feels like really comfortable in the hand, and it fits my hand very nice. Look at this knife. Let's see what we're gonna do here. It's pretty sharp. I'm going down the blade here, making a little feather sticking action. I'm not a big feather stick guy. See what it does like this. Yeah, it's pretty sharp. Pretty sharp little knife. Here's a closer look at the sheath. Again, it's just plastic. Nice retention. Tiny bit of rattle. Not too bad though. I'm sure once you get the there's a little vent hole in the bottom in case you get some water in there. It'll drain. It's kind of cool. I'm sure that if you didn't like this sheath, which I think it's going to be just fine, but if you didn't like this, there's tons of aftermarket sheaths that you can get for this knife. And if you don't like that little bit of rattle, you can heat this up with the hair dryer or a heat gun and bend it in a little bit and make it nice and tight. But that's fine, and that's fine for me. I mean, it looks like it's holding it really nice. Let's start by cutting these off. I'm going to make a baton out of this. Just get these little pieces off. Looks like it worked pretty good. Made quick work out of that. Pretty cool. See if I can clean up the end where my hand's going to be. I have no idea what kind of wood this is, but it's going through it like butter. The bark and everything's coming off. Pretty cool. So there's my handle. This is the piece I'm going to work on right here. So there's my blade in reference to this piece of wood. It's pretty good size. So I'm going to come back here so you can hopefully see everything here that I'm doing. Wow. Ooh, I love that smell. You can smell the pine. So that knife went right through that like butter, like it was nothing. no problem. Went right through that. I love the smell of fresh pine. Ah, that smells like Fatwood Anonymous right there. Shalisa, you would love this if you're watching. A lot of people don't understand why people baton. They're like, just carry a hatchet. Personally, I'd rather have a slightly longer blade and baton my material than carry a hatchet. That's just my personal opinion. My friend, on the other hand, he carries a smaller blade, like a 4-inch, and he also carries a nice hatchet. So to each their own, really. Okay, this piece of wood behind me, I'm going to give it 10 chops and see what kind of damage it does to this wood. So that is what 10 chops did. Let's check the tip of the blade. I hate doing this test. Your blade's really at risk here. So far so good. No problems. I don't like doing this at all. It's kind of like when I'm doing a flashlight review, I hate dropping my flashlight. Perfectly good flashlight, we're going to drop that thing. That's about how much I feel about this test here. I don't like it. But it's good to know what your knife is capable of. No damage at all there. No, not any damage on that blade at all. Tip is good to go. This piece is bigger than the blade. There we go. Beautiful wood. That's pine. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see if we can baton through. This is like wider than the blade almost. Went right through it. No problem. Now we're getting down to size where I could probably actually do some fair batoning. See that? Very impressed. Seems like a solid knife. Of all the tasks that I use a knife for, batoning is one of my favorite things to do. And of course, I'm sure there's all those baton haters out there. Nice. Works out pretty good. I have a nice little pile of firewood here now. So it works out pretty good. There's my pile of firewood. And let's take a look at that blade. I don't see any issues with it. And I was getting right down on the tip here. And the tip is thin, but it holds up. I'm impressed. I really like this coating that they put on the blade. It seems to hold up. And during the batoning process, there was no hot spots being generated or anything like that. There's no nicks or chips out of the blade. Everything looks good. I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's a perfect size blade for me. I'd like to see them, and they might already do, but I'd like to see them have maybe a 5 or 6 inch blade with a Scandi grind. I think that'd be really cool. So there's a little bit of fire there. Let's get this turned around. A little bit of this stuff on there. We really need some smaller stuff, but looks like we got the fire started anyway. Let me show you the spine of this knife in reference to the ferro rod versus my saw here. If I take my saw and my ferro rod, you can see that my saw throws beautiful sparks. My saw has a really nice sharp spine. And this blade, beautiful blade, but just not really impressed with the... It's getting better though, because as I hit more and more on it, you can see that that coating is coming up. And that coating coming up on the spine is what's going to allow me to eventually expose that spine and expose that steel. And it's only going to get better with time on these sparks. It just makes quick work of that stuff. So there's a good hearth that I can make some friction out of. I have a couple mullein plants here, mullein stalks, that I'm going to use to make my hand drill out of. So get down to the bottom here. And they're pretty straight too, so the only downside to these right now is we've had some moisture down here in this area where I'm at, and the stalks are a little damp. So right now I'm just using the spine of my knife to save the edge on my blade, and I'm cleaning up this stalk because I don't want it to have, you know, burrs and bumps on it. Otherwise I'll get more of that kind of stuff going on my hand. So I want to try to minimize that. And I'm not actually trying to get an ember today. I'm just making a set. All this mullein needs to dry. So I'm just cleaning up right now. I'm just getting a little fire kit going. I'm in the right area, I'm in the right location for the materials, so I might as well find them and process them down. So on this hand drill, I just need it to be really smooth and really straight. It looks like it's pretty good. But But it's just fun coming out and practicing skills, and I'm really enjoying this knife. It's doing a good job. I'm able to get all these little knobs off, make this as smooth as possible. Just get a little drill started. Doing okay. I think I have a nice partial burn in, so I should be good to go. So I have a little stone here that I found by the river, and I'm just using the stone to clean up the spine of my knife here. So that it can get rid of that coating right there and let my ferro rod work a little bit better. I think before I leave today out here, I think I'll be throwing really good sparks. Here's another option to clean up the spine of your knife. Just something like that. You can definitely feel that that spine is a lot sharper. I can feel it. So here's a look at how the knife carries with paracord. I like that option. I just put it on there and it holds it close to my body. It's easy to draw from. It's easy to put the knife back. Very good retention. And that's a method that I prefer. So folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video of the ESEE 6. I really like it so far. I think this is going to be a knife that you're going to see a lot more of in the future. I want to say thank you to my friend Caleb, who recommended ESEE knives, and I want to say thank you to ESEE as well for putting out such a great product, and I look forward to meeting you guys and doing that survival training. I can't wait, and I'm glad that my land is the one that it's going to be done on. I'm very humbled by that. I like this knife. So I hope you guys got some good useful information out of this video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Like this video, share this video, and as always, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm going to enjoy this fire. And of course, the knife too. I love it. See you next time. That fire pops a lot. Crazy.